been doing coffee, and this was the first day that it got me, so
no more. You're ahead of most people, then.
No more coffee.
You're getting all no.
I had to go to the bathroom, and it threw my rhythm off, so I got to tweet out the show. We talk a bunch of shit, including crazy stats, NBA playoffs, and
you got it, Brandon.
I make double vodka Don and Big Ev fight to the death. No, not Big Ev. That would be himself. He'd be beating himself. And Barstool Mincy fight to the death.
I don't like my chances there. I think Ev would work me, to be honest. He's got the young blood.
You're just lucky you're on the fucking show.
Fair enough. I
mean, Mincy's 1-0 this week.
By the way, you kind of got owned this morning.
I did. I saw that. I meant to. Yeah. You know what? I don't really have a good. I don't have a good response on that. Y'all, other than State winning the Ole Miss series, y'all they struggled against everybody else.
Yeah. So Mintz thought he was owning State. He said in his blog, he said Mississippi State struggled against good teams this year, and we beat.
They won 2 out of 3 against Ole Miss, but then they got swept by Arkansas and lost 2 out of 3 at Vandy, and then struggled.
The Vandy one, I don't think you should count. Like we won one, they won one.
Yeah, y'all were up big. Y'all were up big on Sunday.
They won a close game in the end. So and plus it was at their place. They had to win that one. What's the name of the show? Pick Central.
Pick Central.
Yep, sure is.
We're live on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube.
Yeah.
channel.
What's the day? The Friday, June 11th.
Yep, Friday, June the 11th.
There, my people. There's my chat. There we go. Mincy, are your knuckles okay? Heard you served up knuckle sandwiches.
Wait, what?
Just don't. Let's not. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got the shit kicked out of me on my picks.
No,
last night.
it's fine. It's fine. We don't have to.
You were kicking ass the other day, from what I could see.
Yeah, I was real hot until last night. I was kind of due one of those. We got the NCAA tournament starting back today, though. So this is my month to shine. Huge shout out to Penn, though. We got over-unders now on the NCAA tournament games today, too, to add to our lines, and we're getting a lot of interest, and it's bringing joy to my heart seeing college baseball lines being discussed at Barstool.
No, it's truly one of the great 38 sports in the country. So no, that's good work by you though. You're hashtag growing the game, right?
Yeah, we're building it, and the future of it, if it's going to really work, is the gambling. Because college baseball, what's exciting about it is with the metal bats, the game will be 8-0, and they're just starting. It's like every game's at Coors Field because anything can happen. And I think people that are seeing it for the first time are like, "Holy crap, these games are really fun, wild, and exciting." Especially when you have money on it. And I think going forward, that's exactly what I'm trying to build. And like I said, just really appreciate Penn and our sports book for working with me to get these lines up.
Yeah, so Omaha will start next weekend?
Yes, so it starts next Saturday. This weekend, 8 super regionals, best 2 out of 3 games. The 8 winners will go to Omaha. Got some awesome matchups this weekend, too. And I actually almost prefer when they're on campus, Brandon, and this is something we talk about with college football, too, the on-campus versus the neutral site big games. I love when they're on campus because the atmospheres this weekend in Starkville and Knoxville are just going to be freaking insane.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. So yeah, that's college baseball. If Mississippi State goes, I'm going to Omaha with Ben Mintz. So just me, 2 best buddies in Omaha, one Mississippian and one Louisianan who pretends to be a Mississippian. And
I'm a mutt.
And we will we'll be there.
Have you guys made up?
It's fine. It's fine.
Has the air been cleared? Like
it's
everything?
Fine. No, it's fine. It's fine.
You sure?
Ev, it's fine.
Yeah, I heard I got kicked off the show.
Well, I mean, after what happened on whatever happened the other afternoon.
No, it's fine. We worked it out.
Okay.
It's just fine. There was a mild disagreement, just a small thing. It wasn't.
There are always going to be disagreements.
Yeah. It's always going to be discriminative.
All right, if you
You don't
say so.
have to stir shit up.
If you say so.
Well, I got a lot of messages yesterday that I got tossed off the show. So, I'm glad to be sitting here with you, Mr. Walker. And I want to thank, I went on Starting 9 with Jared Carabas and Dallas Braden to preview the Super Regionals, which was my first appearance on there. That was cool.
Yeah, you missed the show to be on Starting fucking 9.
Number one baseball podcast in the world, though. So I thought it was. I appreciate them letting us do some college baseball in there.
All right, so
Brandon, I have a question to start off the show.
Yes, please.
What does this say?
So that is a tweet by Marty Mush. Now, Marty, let's give Marty credit. Marty's been on Barstool vs. America. He's been in an RV for 2 weeks. So Marty,
Look at the tweet under it.
Marty normally is a struggle against Twitter to make sure all the words go in the right place. So I'm just going to read it out loud. I wish bodies could talk. Just do it. Can call me a piece of shit for what I put into it. It actually kind of sounds good if you say it out loud.
I said I didn't know if it was like bad or good that when I read it I knew exactly what he meant like immediately.
Well, he's saying his body should be able to tell you quit drinking every night. You fucking bomb.
And eating like dog shit. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that works. So that's TJ. That's what it says.
All right, thanks.
You're very welcome. And I got to be honest. Okay. About 3 weeks ago, we had an average draft, and we'll have another average draft very, very soon because it was very fun. Good show. We had an average draft, and we invited Nate to sit in on that show against my better wishes. And ever since that show, Nate just shows up on Fridays. I've told him not to. I asked him not to come in, but he believes he's on the show on Fridays. He will not talk. He's just going to be in the room. Isn't that right, Nate? So there we go. Nate, not a part of the show, but very much part of the show today, and we're very happy he's here.
You invited me.
You invited yourself.
You invited me.
You invited yourself.
It was an invite.
What did you say?
It was an invite.
What did you say?
You said, "Hey, Nate Dogg, you in on Friday?" And I said, "Yup."
I've never called you Nate Dogg in my life. There's only one Nate Dogg, and he's dead. R.I.P.
Sitting right here.
Hey. Smoke weed every day. Yeah, it's just a good song. When I think Nate Dogg, do you think that song or Regulators? You're younger, you would think of
he's
that
just
song.
Like I'm very like aware of him. Like
he's right before you.
He was just a little bit before me. Like he was like when he was really popping. I was like literally a child. I was an infant. I would say like me getting into rap was like 2000. Like I was pretty young even. I was like 9, but that's like 03. That's like 50 Cent, like Eminem. That was like ludicrous.
And that's 2 years after that Chronic album. So okay, that makes a lot of sense. I think of Regulators first, and then I think of the next episode. That's a great song. Hold up. Wait.
Like I know both of those songs, but I'm just not like super. Like I'm not like a Nate Dogg fan. I'm a fan of what I've heard.
So we will talk about several things today. UFC 263 is tomorrow night, right? Huge, big card.
I'm digging the UFC coverage you're doing.
Big
too.
stream tomorrow. Me, Robbie. I know Jack Mack will be there. I think Jeff Lowe might be there. I think they're all back. Jeff Lowe said he was going to come. Spider. So I think we're gonna have a big crowd there.
8 p.m. on Saturday night from the Gambling
we'll
Cave.
Be live.
It's going to be a UFC stream.
It's going to be awesome. The fight card's just crazy. The press conference yesterday was crazy. Marvin Vettori's a nut. I think he's going to get killed.
Can I ask a question? Is it hot in here?
Yes.
Why is it hot in here today? TJ, why is it hot in here?
The AC guy was in earlier this week, and whenever he does that, the temperature in the office is just all over the place.
Sounds like the AC guy is the worst thing that could happen.
I think he just turns it one way or the other as far as possible because the producer corner is literally 30 degrees.
Robbie's not here today, right?
I haven't seen him.
He tweeted this morning like 7 a.m. that he was still working on editing My Mom's Basement. So I figure once he did that, he was going to be out because, you stay up all night editing. Once you get finished, you deserve a little sleep.
He was doing some coverage last night. There was this girl, basically the best female boxer of all time, made her MMA debut yesterday and won in kind of like crazy fashion. She was getting killed the first 2 rounds, getting pinned down on her back, and she came out. Brett, you need to see this woman. Like, she throws thunderous punches.
Really?
It's like scary.
Yeah.
Especially with those little gloves.
Yeah.
Like she was throwing some early on. She ended up like getting on top of her and just beating the shit out of her, getting the finish in the 3rd round that she really needed. But scary seeing a woman punch that hard.
So UFC. Will you have some UFC picks later in the show?
Oh yeah. So we're gonna have. So I'll say this now. It's gonna be up at some point. It's not live right now. I've got a full juice bag parlay essentially. The 3 main fights. I struggle so mightily to see one of the dogs winning. I just believe it's just such a tough spot. Like Nate Diaz is a massive dog, huge fan favorite. Like I love him. I don't want to bet on him to lose. I just don't see how he wins this fight.
Every time you say dog or Nate, he looks up like, my turn to talk? And here's Nate Diaz, he's a dog, and he go, nope, okay, nope.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's all right.
Him and then Figueiredo Moreno was an absolute war last time. If you just, Brandon, Davison Figueiredo is the scariest 125-pound human being you'll ever see.
Really?
You know what his nickname is?
No.
The God of War.
That's the best nickname I've ever heard.
The God of War. His hair is blonde. He has a red war stripe.
How did somebody not take that before him?
I don't know, but
you have to earn it.
He's earned it. He's a savage, and I think this time he came off 3 weeks' notice, went to war with this guy. The other guy, Brandon Moreno. That last fight changed his whole life. Everything, huge star. Changed nothing for Figueiredo. If anything, just pissed him off.
Yeah.
He just looks ready for business.
So, question. The God of War almost has to be an elite UFC nickname. What's the best UFC nicknames? The God of War's got to be way the fuck up there.
Yeah.
The chat, you can answer that as well.
Yeah, Robbie would definitely be better than me knowing, like I know, like, obviously most of them. God of War is, like, up there, man. It's like...
It's got to be way
like,
way
you
up
see,
there.
a lot of them are good. Like I think certain people...
Stylebender's pretty...
Like, I was going to say, like, just... And it fits him. Like, Stylebender fits him. Like,
Yeah.
just the way he fights so well. I've always... Obviously, it's, like, chalk. But, like, I always thought, like, Notorious. Like, just Notorious Conor McGregor was cool. I mean, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like, I think Sugar's one of those that, like, so many people have used.
Has
it
he
in the
fought
past.
again after losing?
He's fighting. Yes, and he absolutely annihilated.
Okay,
the guy he fought.
all right.
He's fighting on the McGregor Poirier card in July.
Oh, that's going to be incredible.
It's going to be. I think, not even to get ahead. I think McGregor's going to lose again.
You think so?
Yeah.
I
think he's like.
Do you remember?
I think Poirier. It's a mix of Poirier being too good and McGregor being too rich.
Oh, Anthony Showtime Pettis. Showtime's a great one.
Showtime's a great one.
Notorious for McGregor wasn't awful.
Korean Zombie.
Yeah, Korean Zombie's a good one, and he literally basically just like goes by that. They don't even really say his name.
Somebody is Assassin Baby.
Yep, that's Brandon Moreno. That's a good one.
I like that.
So it's literally the God of War versus the Assassin Baby.
Assassin Baby's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's awesome. Yeah, these are.
I'm just a huge Masvidal fan. Game Bread's a good one.
Somebody's the axe murderer, or is that just some?
Wanderlei Silva.
He's not the axe murderer.
Yeah.
That's what he goes by.
That and Carlos Condit was Natural Born Killer. That's a good one.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Back in the day, there was this Korean guy, Sakuraba, who used to just go as the Gracie Hunter.
Oh,
he would fight the Gracies
that's
all
so
the time.
fucking badass.
Yeah.
Man, I love these. I love these nicknames. Wonder Boy Steven Thompson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
War Machine. War Machine's in prison for the rest of his natural life. Well, that's not great.
Yeah.
Nope.
Bad guy.
All right, then again, if you're named War Machine, at least he lived up to it.
Yeah.
Good for him for proving that correct.
Even Marvin Vittori, the Italian Dream. I think that's a good one too.
The American Dream, which was Dusty Rhodes, and the American Dream, which is a very common saying. I do like if you come from any other country, just being that dream.
Yeah.
It should be in the Danish Dream or the the Scottish Dream, something like that. I don't know why all my
Mississippi Dream.
all my hypothetical people are very European.
That would be a great nickname for you, the Mississippi Dream.
The Mississippi Dream, Brandon Walker.
Yeah. It's not bad.
I don't love it.
You don't?
How about I don't hate it. The Southern Dream? The Mississippi Dream sounds better.
Yeah, I think Mississippi Dream.
And then you
is
come
better,
out to
too.
Mississippi Queen.
Mississippi Dream. Yeah, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. All right.
I could see that on the shirt.
I am creating an incredible wrestling career for myself.
Yes.
So Mississippi Dream, Brandon Walker. Like I'm not. I recognize when I call myself that. I recognize I'm not good enough to take over America, but I got Mississippi.
Yeah.
I mean, I run Mississippi.
You're on the east part of it for sure.
Well, what's that mean, Ben?
I mean, Walker's got the Mississippi State diehard. He's got that.
I also have the Ole Miss diehards because they follow me every. I just
They do. I will say the Ole Miss diehards.
Yeah.
You do have a stronghold. You've
When
got them on the string.
When
I will
when
say
I take
that.
a shit, there's 3 Ole Miss fans sitting there trying to smell it.
Yeah, it's. I actually, you're right.
I know. I am.
I gotta say, you made it. You made it. You, the job you did with Ole Miss made it awfully easy for me to walk into to being liked by Ole Miss fans.
You're welcome.
I thank you for sure.
Somebody says, Bayou Ben. Bayou Ben is a great nickname. Bayou Ben Mintz. All right, so a lot of things going on in sports. UFC tonight, UFC tomorrow night. I keep misspeaking today. UFC stream tomorrow night, UFC 263 from the Gambling Cave, 8 p.m. You'll have Big Ev. You'll have Robbie Fox. You'll have all the UFC people in there. It'll be incredible. We got NBA playoffs to talk about. We have NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs. I got to get over that. I always say NHL playoffs, and it's not the NHL playoffs. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. I got to call it by the right thing. Isn't that right, Nate Dogg?
I think it's okay to call it.
I want
NHL
all of
playoffs.
Can you be one word, Nate, for this show? Let's try that out.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Nate Dogg?
Sure is.
Okay, that's 2. Fellas, the sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and wardrobe. Your fits need to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so you look as good as you feel. For that, there's Cuts Clothing. They've taken a classic men's fashion staple, the plain T-shirt, and refined it, combining premium quality with a minimalist aesthetic. Cuts shirts, polos, hoodies, and crew sweatshirts made for the man who works hard, plays hard, never settles for less, all in the sport of business. Ben Metz, when's the last time you settled for less? You just don't do it, do you?
Clearly not.
Built for performance in the boardroom, the bar, or the gym, Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. It's premium with a purpose. Each piece of clothing designed with custom-engineered fabric, expertly graded for the perfect fit, arming you. Shit!
Come on.
Fuck!
It's Friday, Brandon. We got it.
Arming you for every challenge and opportunity. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's office leisure apparel for the sport of business. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/picks for 15% off, the only shirt worth wearing. I think you're going to read the next one, Mince.
That's fine. I like doing that reads.
Yeah, you can have this one. I'll tell you when to read it.
Okay.
Okay, so college football playoff. I promised you guys we wouldn't do a whole lot of college football, but I'm a college football guy. That's a college football guy to my left. That's a college football guy to my right. So we're going to talk about it. And yesterday the big news was it was rumored a couple days ago that they would be recommending a 12-team playoff with 5 conference champions with a guaranteed group of 5 and then 6 wild cards. This is what we found out yesterday, and the College Football Playoff Management Committee recommended that yesterday, and it looks like I don't think we live in a world where they would announce this without that being the plan to just go ahead and push that through, and that's what we're going to have eventually. So we are headed that way. We are headed towards an absolute 12-team playoff. And the fans out there that just want to be so resistant to change and just want to be hipsters about this and want to keep the college football playoff to a very, very boring 4-team format, I have no idea why. They will hide behind, please don't devalue the regular season. Please don't. This doesn't change the value of the regular season at all. This doesn't devalue it. This simply moves the value point a little bit and makes it much more exciting. Instead of 4 elite teams who are going to blow everybody out and their boring march to the playoff, we now have 20, 25, 30 teams fighting for 12 spots. We now have teams that would never in a million years be able to get in this thing. We now have October and November conference games that are going to mean so much more than they ever have before. I love the move to the 12-team playoff, and I think you do too, Big F.
I love it. To me, the simplest way I can say it is I think it solves a lot of problems without creating any.
Yes.
I think what it does, because I think there's the main counterpoints that at least I've seen on Twitter and just whatever on the internet is, one, they're like, oh, the 9-3 team deserves to get in the playoff, deserves to make a run for national championship. Listen, if they're 9-3 and they go if they're the 12 seed, for example, they go knock off number 5, and then they go knock off another team and go to the national championship, they fucking deserve it.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me? If they go beat the number 5 team in the country and then go beat a top 4 team, I don't care if they went 9-3. They absolutely deserve to be there. No question. So I think that's going to happen a lot. Probably not. But if they do, they absolutely deserve to be there. And I've heard you say it a bunch. It doesn't devalue the regular season. If anything, it adds more. It makes bigger games. I think it solves the problem of these New Year's Six bowls that have meant nothing now. All of a sudden now they're do or die playoff games. Massive. I think that helps the opt-out thing a ton because I think obviously
you just
a lot of the NFL elite talent are on these top 12 teams, and now they will not opt out. They'll play in these games. People that want to say it's going to devalue the other bowls even more, they already have been devalued.
It's time to let go of that idea.
It doesn't matter. They've already been devalued.
Let go of the bowls.
Like people saying that there's going to be more opt-outs, that's not true. If they're going to opt out, they're going to opt out. If they're not, they're not. That's what it is. All it does, it gives more seats at the table, not just for the UCFs and the Coastals and the Cincinnatis of the world. it gives more seats at the table to like middle of the road Power 5 teams.
Yeah.
Wisconsin would have made it a lot over the
Like
last.
it gives them a real chance. And I think someone like me, like an Ohio State fan, I probably should not like it.
Yeah.
There's definitely reasons to argue that I wouldn't like it. I'm a progressive college football fan. This is just better for the sport. It's just better for the entire game. I think for fans, players, everything. It gives more teams a fair shake.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. And plus, for all the people bitching that the top 4 get screwed, they get buys and are going to be rested. And so
Exactly.
they get a huge edge off that. But my biggest thing is, what makes college basketball so unique and even baseball is the G5 teams. I mean, they may have a very tiny chance to win, but they got a place at the table. And now we're going to see at least 1, maybe 2 in every year in the playoffs. And they might get the shit kicked out of them, but it's a lot better than them going to play a BCS bowl game against a team that doesn't care. And I love that. I think that's great for the sport. And let's be real. Now we have 11 playoff games that matter to break down instead of 3. How is that a bad thing? Bowl games are exhibitions. Now we got 11. I love it. I'm so excited about it. And you people saying this could devalue the regular season, it's always going to matter when LSU plays Alabama and all these rivalry games regardless. I mean, people are always going to care about that. That's what makes college football unique, is the passion of the fan bases. So kiss my ass on that. Welcome to 12-team playoffs. Let's do it, boys.
I think it enhances the value of the regular season. Like let's say 9-2 Michigan, number 14 in the country, is playing 11-0 Ohio State. 9-2 Michigan in previous years. What's the fucking point? I mean, they're not going to be but if they're playing to get in and they're playing their arch rival, I mean, it's going to enhance. The problem right now is the 14 playoff in its 7 years has not produced captivating football. There's been a very, very minute amount of great games.
Bama, Clemson, and Bama, Georgia were great.
And Georgia, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 games that really stand out. But other than that, we've had 38-0s. We have 52-24s. We've had nothing. And this is going to add 2 more rounds to the playoff, and it's going to add intriguing. You can't tell me that first week of 5-12, 6-11, 7-10, 8-9, that's going to be fucking electric.
It's going to be riveting.
And those 4 teams, which right now are it's the Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State Invitational every single year. Those 4 teams will have a bye. But now, instead of winning 2 games, they're going to have to win 3 games to win a national title. We are doubling the length of time of the playoff. It's going to be fantastic. I love it. It's a long time coming to college football. I'll never understand why college football fans want to have a tiny playoff system. I'll never understand why they want to be so restrictive and so elitist. Because when you get to the top of the mountain, you're able to recruit based on that, and that creates a bottleneck at the top where Clemson, Ohio State, and Alabama can just sit down if they're well coached and not move. And this is going to open up the floodgates for other teams to be able to get up on their level and look like they're on their level. And once they look like they're on their level, they'll be able to start pecking away and getting them down a little bit. Nate, you're not allowed.
Question.
Okay.
Do you think 5 stars will go, instead of choosing to go to a Clemson or Alabama, will now go to the second tier, like a Wisconsin, Penn State type school?
Probably not, at least not at first, because here's the dirty secret about college football. 5 stars aren't going to Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State because they want to play in the playoff.
Sure.
That's not why they're going.
Sure.
And that's not going to change immediately. They can say that's why they're going, but that ain't why they're going. They're going because of what their uncle's driving or what their dad's driving. So,
and they want to go to the NFL.
Yes.
I think those are the most direct path.
Yes.
That's fair to say.
Yes, but the number one reason a recruit chooses a school is never the playoff and never the NFL. Ever. Ever.
I think the NFL. I think
a 5-star recruit.
And I won't even argue for Ohio State. When you look at Bama and what they've done, like what they have 8 picks in the top 40 this year. I mean, no, especially when you're a 5-star guy, because when you're a 5-star, I think you're obviously thinking college, but I think 5-star, you got NFL in your mind when you're 17.
100%. But if you're a 5-star and you have the NFL in your mind, you can go to LSU and make it just fine.
No
you can go
question.
to Auburn. You can go to Penn State. You can go to all these.
You can go D2 and make the NFL. Anywhere.
You
if you're
can
good,
absolutely.
You're good. For sure.
The NFL is probably always a reason for these guys. It is never the number one reason. Ever.
Fair. No, that's fine. I agree with that. I just think I've been using the example of last year's Cotton Bowl, Florida, Oklahoma.
I love this example.
Imagine if Florida's entire offense didn't opt out.
Yeah.
And we had a red-hot Oklahoma team.
Yeah.
Versus that explosive Florida offense that just lost to Bama by 6. That's an incredible, incredible game. Instead, it's a 55-20 game. Florida's entire offense.
And poor
which
Kyle
made them
Trask is
special.
out there throwing to nobody.
Guy's by himself.
Yeah.
Defense is out. Half the team's out. Imagine that game, do or die, win or go home. That's incredible.
I'm going to take your example and do a mirror example. Same year, imagine Georgia, Cincinnati. You've got Georgia, who's improved the entire season with JT Daniels, who came on the second half of the year and was outstanding, against Cincinnati, a team with a chip on their shoulder, a team that wants to prove everything, a team that beat everybody in their division, in their conference by like 30. They killed everybody last year. Imagine Cincinnati hosting Georgia with JT Daniels with things on the line. Cincinnati, I believe, had 6 opt-outs in that bowl game. Georgia had almost the entire team opt out because players don't respect bowls anymore. They shouldn't. So what do you do to encourage the players to stay and give you? I mean, you give them a chance to play for a fucking national title. Georgia, Cincinnati would have been electric in Cincinnati, and you're right. Florida, Oklahoma would have been incredible.
I wrote it in my blog. I said we're taking back big bowl season.
And
we're taking it back.
And somebody yesterday,
them taking it back.
Somebody yesterday said, "Brandon, would you really want to see 3-loss Florida play in the playoff?" Yeah, you know why? Because the only game Alabama looked vulnerable last year that they could have possibly lost was that 6-point win they had against Florida. If that game's 2 minutes longer, Florida might beat them.
Who knows?
So yeah.
With the first,
Cincy did not beat UCF by 3. Cincy beat UCF by 10. If you remember that, it was
that goal line
on the scoreboard. It was 3, but it was 10.
They chose not to score.
Correct.
Would it be bowl games the first weekend for the 5 through 12 matchups, or would that be on campus?
No. That's on campus.
Even better.
That's on campus.
I'd love that.
And I believe one of the they're trying to talk them into doing the second round on campus as well. But I believe the second round, when you get down to 8 teams, that's when you're going to be in the old bowl games. Which you have to satisfy the bowl bigwigs, and you have to fill out that. You have to tell the Cotton Bowl and the Peach Bowl that, hey, we'll give you something.
So it's looking like the way it sounds. Then the first rounds would be like mid-December, and then the New Year's would be the round of 8, the quarterfinal of the bowl games.
Yeah,
I guess that. And then
I guess
that. Okay, I'm just.
I don't really know. I don't think we've got that fleshed out yet.
Okay.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What is it going to do? Are they just cutting basically a game off everyone's regular season?
I don't think so.
Are they just going to add more?
Yeah.
Hopefully players are about to get paid legally anyway, so maybe that'll make that better.
We will certainly see, but I just absolutely love the idea, because I am a college football guy at my heart. That's the sport I care about the most, and the college football playoff in its 7 years, great idea, and it was a necessary first step, because college football has always been the slowest to evolve, always in matters of society, and matters of taking care of players, and matters of determining a champion. I mean, we didn't have a decent system at determining a champion until 1998. We were just letting dumb, stupid-ass sports writers crown a champion until 1998. And then we had the BCS, and we said, all right, sports writers, you sit down. You're going to be replaced by these computers, which were 1998 computers. So we had all that, and then finally we said, you know what, we need a playoff. And instead of being proactive and having an actual playoff, they did 4 teams, which isn't really a playoff.
No.
It isn't really a playoff. It's like a backyard barbecue where you only invite the...
Yeah, you said it right. It's invitational.
It's an invitational. It's very, very exclusive. And once Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State figured out the lay of the land, they got in there and they set up shop, and they weren't coming out. They weren't. I believe 21 playoff games, 15 of them have... or there's been 21 playoff teams. 15 have been those 3 teams. Something like that.
Yeah. No,
Something like that stat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go, man. I just I love it. To everybody who doesn't like it, I agree to disagree, and fuck you.
And also think about the conference championship games now. If the Power 5 are automatically in, the Pac-12 championship game, if they have 2 losses each, is on fire electric. I add so much to that too.
Can I read the dumbest comment in the history? In the history of Pick Central?
There's been a lot of idiotic comments.
Yes.
I want to read the dumbest comment in the history of Pick Central. Are you guys ready? John Keller says, he just scrolled off the page. Boy, this is a lot.
He's running.
Where'd he go? John Keller says, who is filling the seats for the on-campus playoff games? The students are all gone home at that time of December. That is.
I wonder who would show up to an Ohio State playoff game. Like, no one would show up.
That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
I wonder who would show up down in Tuscaloosa for a big Alabama playoff
I'm sure
game.
Saban is sitting in the locker room. God, I hope we sell some tickets to this playoff game against Michigan. Gee, I wonder who will come. What the fuck? John Keller, I don't know if I've ever noticed your name. You're not allowed to talk anymore.
That's a hall of shame.
I'm not banning you, but you're not allowed to talk anymore. Cheese and crackers.
Oh my God.
I wonder who will come. Like Saban setting up a fucking bake sale to give tickets away to Alabama fucking football.
They're just looking around.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
expecting something dumb. That like legitimately blew me away. I was not.
Could you imagine?
Who would show up?
Could you imagine in the college football playoff committee if they're saying, "All right, guys, I don't think we can give Penn State. I don't think we can give Penn State a home playoff game because students have final exams that Thursday. They're going to be gone. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a crowd at Penn State." John Keller, Jesus Christ! I noticed John Keller hasn't said anything anymore, but all right, I love you, John. You're one of my favorites. I love you to death, brother. Just don't ever speak again in your life. And that doesn't just mean in here. That means the rest of your day, you're not allowed to speak. So when you go to the deli, when you go to get lunch, you just have to point at the fucking menu. Do not talk again today. Oh, man.
We got to transition. Can we also, a thing I wanted to say too is.
I want to keep burying John Keller.
If you want to, let me know when you're done because I had a point I wanted to make about the 12/8.
All right, John, your execution has given you a stay. You may now. But you can't speak the rest of the day. Don't speak. All right? Your wife comes home and says, "What's wrong?" You just nothing. Go.
I even think the 12. It was funny because the 12 had really never occurred to me. I always thought it'd be 8 or 16. I think the 12 is better than the 8.
I love it
because I think the argument that everyone makes about why do you want 8 to play 1? I think it gives the little guy a seat at the table while also protecting them. So the 12 is playing the 5 instead of and the 8 is playing the 9 or it's 8-9, right? It'd be 8-9.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit in that sense, it gives them a seat while also protecting them. Where they got to go, they have to at least show why they belong first, to some degree. Like they have to, if you want to get a spot at a big shot at one of these elite teams.
One of the criticisms is, oh no, there'd be a blowout between 12 and 1. Oh no. You got to be a really fucking good team to be in the top 12. You got to be a really good team. I mean, maybe there might be a year where the best G5 team is 27th best team in the country or not, but that hasn't been the case recently. No. We've had at least 1 or 2.
They're usually top 15.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be a really good team to be 12. This is not letting in. This isn't like the NCAA tournament where Duke gets to play South Carolina Central State University. No. Being number 12 after 12 games, you have had one hell of a year. And so I think we look at it like, oh, we're going to let these sisters of the poor in there. No, you're going to be letting in some good-ass fucking teams.
Yeah, 9-3 LSU is going to be like a 12.
Yeah.
Florida last year, or an 11-1.
10-2 Iowa State would be a 12, something like that.
Yeah, or like an 11-1 or undefeated, maybe the second G5 team, like Coastal, last year might have been something like that. Those teams are damn good. And look at the other thing, too. We get to watch playoff games not involving Bama, Ohio State, and Clemson. Let's say Bama still kicks the shit out of everybody. At least we get good, memorable playoff games not involving them.
All right, somebody – I can't claim this tweet. Somebody tweeted it to me yesterday, but people are saying, oh, it's just going to be Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, and Alabama's still going to kick the shit out of everybody, just being Debbie Downers for no reason. Here's the thing. This is a shot at changing that. The only way to fully guarantee nothing will change is by changing nothing. Ooh. That's the only way to fully guarantee that nothing changes. I know that was very.
That's a bar.
Yeah. When my dad got out of rehab in 1988, he came home and he wrote on the mirror, "If nothing changes, nothing will change." And then he was in jail 3 months later. But that's a great phrase. If you truly think, if you don't like the 14 playoff, and if you don't like Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson owning this sport, then leave it the same and it'll stay the fucking same. So this is a shot towards changing it. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
I mean, just the rounds too. We're going to have 2 4-game, the 5 through 12, and then the quarters, 4 playoff games each. I mean, how could you not love that?
I also like the dick on your table move of telling Notre Dame you can't get a bye. You're not going to join the conference, you can't get a bye.
I'm in on the conspiracy theory. So Notre Dame's AD was a part of this.
Yeah.
Think about every time if they're in the top 4 and they technically can't be in the top 4, guess what that means? They'll be the 5. Guess what that means? They get a game in South Bend. Home game. Yeah. Fans, money.
I guess, but
basically guaranteed every time they're in the top 8, They get a home playoff
I
game.
mean, Notre Dame's always going to be.
I'm saying just a little conspiracy.
Notre Dame's always going to be a pimple on the perfect body that is college football.
For sure.
And it always is. And sometimes that pimple looks worse than others. But Notre Dame does exist in a kind of a bubble that was created in the 40s and 50s that we haven't been able to pop yet. But I don't really mind it because, frankly, Notre Dame's been really good lately, and they've deserved their shot. So to me, existence of the narrative that Notre Dame's always overrated. They've won 33 games the last 3 years.
And the other thing about Notre
really
Dame,
good.
the other thing about Notre Dame too is it's not like they're running hot with their schedule. I mean, it's not their fault USC's struggling right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they schedule big game. I mean, they try hard to play a tough schedule, and they don't have too many cupcakes. So.
There would not be 6 conferences get an auto bid. You'd have the Power 5. All 5 Power 5 conferences get an auto bid, and the G5 gets an auto bid.
Well, so
the best. How did the highest ranked G5 team?
It's the highest 6th ranked conference champions. So that can get like last year.
It'll be the American.
It's crazy. Like last year, Coastal and Cincy would have been in that group.
Yeah, and Cincy would have been higher. They were higher ranked at the end, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. So there's certain years. I think last year was a little bit of an outlier because I think Cincy was really good, and I do think Coastal was also really good.
Cincy's going to be good this year.
Cincy
too.
was better. Like Cincy, I think is legit.
Yeah, I didn't really fully buy Coastal last year.
They were good.
Last year,
Cincy's better. Cincy was definitely better.
Sun
last
Belt's a
year's
lot weaker than the American.
Last year's an outlier too because like Indiana would have been in, and they were a fraud too. So I think in a full season, a full strength season, you will see 12 good teams that make it very, very interesting. Plus, I told Big T to come in here and argue because he believes that 4-team was right. He would rather go back to a 2-team playoff, which as a Tennessee fan, when they won a 2-team playoff in 98, the only good thing they've done in the last 30 years, that's why he feels that. I have no idea why anybody would want to keep a 4-team or go back to a 2-team, but he hasn't shown up.
I think to be honest, I think for the guy siding on the 4-team, I think it's a tough debate. We have a million valid points. They really don't have any. They're the only thing I've heard anyone say, it's only SEC people. And they're only like, Alabama, Georgia won't matter as much. Alabama, LSU won't matter as much.
They still will matter.
It still will matter. Like, it's still going to matter just as much. Like even someone tweeted at me yesterday, like Clemson, Georgia plays week 1. Like, it won't be the same. I'm like, either of those teams lose, they 100% can still get in the playoff.
Yeah,
If they win out, they definitely will get in the playoff. You're not getting like your season's not over because you lose to Clemson or Georgia.
Jared Shaw says Indiana was a fraud. Tom Allen has Hoosier football kicking. Be careful, we're a football school now. No, you were a fraud. You were the biggest fraud in the country.
I like Tom Allen.
He's fine.
I
like him, but to a point.
I think he's
all
a very
that fake
good
ass
football
crying
coach.
and that fake ass crying after games. No,
He's a passionate guy.
They were a top 25 to top 30 team. They
don't-
got ranked in the top 10.
you don't cry at the end of a football. I mean, come on.
It's passion, bro.
They're just deflecting because
these
they're bad at
kids-
basketball now.
No Sean Moreno cries in the national anthem, Brandon. It's called passion. I like Tom. I'm a Tom Allen stan. I just think he's a good football coach.
I like him too. I like him too.
I love the way when I see the players look at him when he gives a speech, they really they just are all in on him, and I
But
appreciate that.
their best win last year was a loss. Their best win was not getting
I
killed
agree.
by Ohio State.
I think when it's Northwestern was the second best Big Ten team. I think they proved that bowl game in the game they played against Ohio State. I agree.
All right, Ben Mintz, can you read our next ad, please?
Oh, yeah. 5 years ago, Felix Gray realized our eyes weren't meant to look at screens all day, and he designed glasses to make daily screen time more comfortable and the workday more productive. Now, more than ever, Americans are spending more time on computers, phones, tablets, gaming, and so many other sources of blue light. Felix Gray glasses are not like other blue light lenses. Felix Gray lenses filter 15 times more blue light that can make screen time tough on eyes and disruptive sleep. Non-prescription and prescription available. Check them out now. FelixGrayGlasses.com/picks. Get yourself a pair of glasses made for the 21st century and designed for modern, hardworking eyes. You have nothing to lose except maybe eye strain. Go to FelixGrayGlasses.com/picks for the best blue light glasses on the market. That's FelixGray Glasses.com/picks. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. FelixGrayGlasses.com/picks.
Almost threw a perfect game. Almost threw a perfect game.
I stuttered twice.
No, you said exchanges at the end, but that was the only. That was the only. It was almost a perfect game. In fact, you earned your second ad that you will read in a minute. So, why don't we do picks and then we'll come back and do. We'll finish some other stuff because that college football talk that I said would be 5 minutes ended up being 20.
I think I even have one more point to why it's great.
I was hoping somebody get Big T's at. Well, no, let's not.
When is this supposed to start? Is it we locked
23, right? 2023.
But is it so? Are they? Because I thought the contract had like 4 more years.
I think
are they going to
ESPN takes over the contract 2026, I believe, the full contract, and I think that's when they were. I don't know. I heard 2023 and 2026, so hopefully it happens very, very soon. I wish contracts didn't exist so we could just do it this year.
Yeah.
Just fucking go ahead.
I'm just saying. Let me paint this picture for you.
Please.
What was it? 07?
Yes.
Boise State, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That moment can happen again. That's back.
Yeah.
That was gone. That's back.
That's a great
These
point.
teams won't opt out. It's branded. An opportunity for that.
But
it won't happen
But
every
in a
year.
playoff game, not
It
a
won't happen
bowl.
every year.
You know what,
It'll be in
though?
a playoff game. It'll be special.
It's even better. It's even better now because
they're going to move on.
When that Boise team won that game and Ian Johnson went to his knee and proposed, the story was over. That was it. That was what they gave us. Imagine that Boise team taking that win and that momentum and that popularity and playing
another one
and playing Clemson next week. That would be incredible.
Like that moment that was taken from us is back. It's back. With this playoff, it'll be back.
Oh man.
So many things are back. I told you it's taking back big bowl season.
It's like Dana Beers. It's back.
Yeah, back. All the way back.
Back. Period.
Hats on sale now.
I do like the hats. Fire merch. BarstoolSports.com/store.
It's not a bad hat.
I think that's very good hats.
Not a bad hat. So I guess Big T's just going to no-show the show. All right. Well, fine.
He's getting ready to get his heart ripped out this weekend. I think the Tennessee Vol fans could be facing some heartache.
Because of you know what?
I think LSU's going to beat them.
You pretend to be an Ole Miss homer. You dress up like I think you're an LSU homer. I think because of coming from Baton Rouge, the other day LSU over 8.5. Now you're saying LSU is going to go on the road and win a super regional.
I've just seen this LSU thing my entire life, where they'll get in these close games and they just somehow find a way. It's a weird thing. Their fans and players believe, like Ole Miss is the anti that. Ole Miss fans get in close games. It's like, how are we going to fuck this up? But LSU fans, they just pull shit out of their ass. They just do it all the time, and I think they're going to do it again this weekend.
All right, so picks. Ben Mintz continues to lead us, I believe, although he had a shit day yesterday.
I took
you
it.
went 1-5. You're still up 15 units in a very short month so far. I continue to suck hind tit down there at the end. Yesterday, Rico Bosco was 6-2. Marty Mush 1-0. When did Marty give a pick?
Just the tips.
Tip-off parlay.
Oh, that counts? Okay. Yeah, that counts. Double Vodka Don, the Big Ev himself, went 3-3.
Most average.
Yeah.
Generic.
I'll trade you.
I've been fighting average my entire month. And then of course Mintz was 1-5. Big Ev, since you were here, I will let you lead us off.
All right, I need the day games. I got the Cubs money line today at 220. Little 1 o'clock in Wrigleyville. I'm sure it's great weather out there. Give me the Cubs at home. White Sox playing a lefty. Give me a money line. Give me them on the run line. Easy, no brainer. I'm on the Astros tonight. Then also both basketball games. I'm on the road teams. I think we're gonna get at minimum a split. I think one of these teams gets it done. I think they're both clearly the better team. I like both of them. I think we might get a shot at 2-0. At least 1-1.
Okay.
That's the card.
Fair enough.
After that rock fight of a game yesterday in Milwaukee.
But what do you make, not to bring up college baseball again?
Oh, I love that. You can bring it up as much as you want.
But what do you make of Paul Maneri, who's being forcibly retired at LSU? What about Paul Maneri losing a series at Tennessee this year and then just being a little bitch about it and complaining about how mean they were and how loud they were? Like LSU's been
the LSU fans have been the most rowdy
toxic stadium in the world.
Yeah, I couldn't believe all
Paul
that.
Maneri being a fucking bitch about Tennessee. Like Tennessee's got 3,000 people there. You can't handle that. They're wearing orange. I mean, it's like a Care Bears convention. You're bitching about that?
I thought that was extremely soft, and it's especially after they got swept in heated games. It came off very whiny, I thought.
Like, you're not going into fucking Tennessee and winning if your coach, if the energy he's putting out there is boo-hoo. They're so mean to us.
I just feel like Tennessee is...
This ain't Oregon. Oregon doesn't give a shit about baseball.
Yeah, well, Tennessee just hadn't been in this. They made the World Series in 2005. They've never been this highly ranked. I feel like this is such a big moment. They may not be mentally ready for it.
Are they hiring Pat Casey?
I heard that Pat Casey's now turning it down, and I'm hearing Bianco's still maybe the top candidate still is what I was hearing from Baton Rouge this morning. So we'll address that when it comes up.
What about Tony Vitello?
That he's going to Tennessee has such a big alumni base and so much money. They're going to expand that stadium and they're going to pay the crap out of Vitello. I just can't see how they want, because it's not a lack of resources in Knoxville, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got resources for days and don't win in shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Rick Barnes makes like $4 or $5 million right now, I mean, I think Vitalo can get $1.5 million or $2 million here.
All right, so I will go next, and I love the Hawks to win tonight. Put a little scare into the Sixers. I think the Sixers end up winning the series. I love the spot of teams coming home down 2-0 and people kind of give up on them. It felt like it happened with the Bucks last night. Oh, the Bucks felt like they should have won that game
Nets
by
covered.
more.
I know.
Yeah, the Nets.
I was on the Bucks. I thought I had the right
they should have.
side.
You watched the second half. I thought they should have lost.
Yeah, and then the Bucks.
Like the Nets played horrendous.
It was awful.
The Bucks scored 56 points the last 3 quarters total because they had and they still won.
They were up 30. I think they were up
30 to 11.
30 to 11. I was watching, and then literally just like that, they were down 3 or up 3.5.
Yeah, I got Nuggets minus 1.5. Just down 2-0. You know, what are you about? They got the MVP. It's just, I'm sure he'll have some sort of acknowledgement as the MVP for the first time when he's at home tonight. Padres Mets under 5.5. It's DeGrom, and I see an under 5.5 so low. I just got to live on the edge of a sword and just go get it. I just got to go under 5.5. That's a crazy under. So yes, please give it to me. And then Brewers minus 1.5. Here's the ace of all aces in baseball that nobody talks about.
Woodruff,
Brandon Woodruff,
Yep.
who went to Mississippi State University from Wheeler High School in Wheeler, Mississippi. He went to Mississippi State for 3 years, didn't do much. He wasn't very good in college, figured it the fuck out, and now is the ace of one of the aces of the Brewers. The Brewers got like 3 of them. But he is very, very, very good. They're going to hammer today. I didn't have this on my card, but TJ, if you could add it, I'm just going to,
No.
I don't have, please?
All right.
I don't have the name of, I got tagged in this. Somebody gave it to me. I feel like I got a booger. I don't have who said it to me, but they tagged me in it, and I will tweet it out later and give them their proper attribution. But Woodruff over 7.5 Ks today. Brandon Woodruff, the ace from Mississippi State, over 7.5 Ks. And I have my aces high bet on the Barstool Sportsbook. It is boosted from plus 240 to plus 275. When you're looking for a win like me, and I'm down, I'm looking for a win. So I trust the best pitchers in baseball to get it done for me. Who are the best pitchers going tonight? Well, there's a lot of them, but you have DeGrom for the Mets. You have Ohtani for the Angels. You have Kershaw for the Dodgers. Mets, Angels, Dodgers, moneyline parlay plus 275 on the Barstool Sportsbook app. Walk with me. Who's next? I think it's Ben Metz.
Brennan Scherzer's also on the mound tonight.
Okay, well, he's not part of
Yeah, great night of pitching, though.
That's fine. He's not part of the fucking
Great night of
He's not
pitching.
part of the fucking parlay, Nate.
All right.
He's not part of the fucking hold on. He's not part of the motherfucking parlay.
Oh, just adding on. Great night of pitching.
And Woodruff as well. Go.
All right, we got the first. We'll do the college baseball. I got 3 super regional series price bets. I've got LSU plus 275. I think that's a phenomenal price. I think the series could literally go either way at Knoxville, and you're getting almost 3-1 on your money. I got Texas Tech minus 148. They host Stanford at home. Let me tell you what's nothing like Northern California's climate. Mid-afternoon games in West Texas in June. Lubbock, huge home field advantage for Texas Tech. They've made Omaha 4 times in the last 5 or 6 years. They roll on to Omaha. I've got Notre Dame at Mississippi State getting plus 130. State's got a tremendous home field advantage, but this Notre Dame team is on a mission. They rolled through the ACC at 22-8. They won their regional matchups 50-5. They're loaded. They get it done. Today's matchups, I got under 9.5 in ECU Vandy, pitching duel between Gavin Williams and Kumar Rocker. Texas Tech minus 157. Arkansas throwing Wicklander, their ace, at home against NC State, minus 205. Ole Miss, Arizona is going to get so freaking wild. It's going to be like 15-12. Arizona has 7 guys hitting 330 or better. Ole Miss is one of the best hitting teams in the SEC. Both have pitching questions in that one. And then I also want to add to my card the Denver Nuggets by 1.5. I like them at home to bounce back in that game 3. Same thing as Brandon said. The Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros over 5.5 runs. I'm out of words now.
We certainly used several.
Lot to pack in. Small time.
I just can't. I can't do this shit with you. I can't do this shit with you. Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you don't pick Arizona, who's a much better team than your little piddly ass team.
I didn't pick Ole Miss either. I mean, Ole Miss is a slight underdog. I don't think there's a ton of value there out in Tucson. I'm gonna bet on Ole Miss tomorrow, and Doug Nikhazy pitches, though. I can assure you of
Is
that.
he still alive? Because you guys abused the fuck out of him.
That's why he's sitting Friday and pitching Saturday to get the extra day of
Threw him
rest.
300 pitches over 2 days because you can't recruit any other pitchers.
Well, Gunnar Hoglund, the top 15 pick.
So recruit how you do in football. Just give them pussy and money.
Our other first rounder is towards UCL, so I'm just glad Ole Miss is still in after losing him.
How about hit my last ad there and let's
do it.
Yep.
All right, we're putting our bets on A88 CBD with U.S. grown hemp extracts and high. A88 CBD.
That makes sense.
With U.S. grown hemp extracts and
to say
high-quality
that, right?
formulas, their products are winners. And when the stakes are high and life gets hectic, there's nothing better than reaching for an A88 CBD product. A88 CBD is a game changer. They carry a variety of CBD products to choose from, and all of them contain exceptional ingredients and even come in convenient packaging. Try some deliciously different fruit chews, and vegan gummies, perfect for taking with you on the go. Or try one of their premium topicals like CBD Deep Relief Cream. Even better, A88 CBD offers free shipping on all products and a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Exceptional, premium, and convenient. What more could you ask for? So head over to A88CBD.com to find an exceptional CBD experience for you. Use the code PICKS, P-I-C-K-S, at checkout and you receive 25% off of your entire purchase.
I think you threw a 3-hit shutout there. I think it was good. He had the one flub in the middle.
The A88 CBD is a little bit of a tongue twister.
Well, you say it better than I say it. I say A88 CBD. Is it A88 or A88?
I just think the 8 and 8 sounds so much like A that saying 88 makes it go better. It's kind of my logic.
All right. So, yeah, man, oh, man. A lot of the chat is bitching that we're not doing soccer. Listen, I'm not gonna. Za's not here. If Za were here, I would allow him to give Euro picks. I know that Euro's going on, and it is very interesting to watch. But I can't pretend to know soccer that well. I can't pretend to love soccer that much. I'm not just gonna fake it just for the sake of faking it. If Za's out on the Barstool Classic tour, if he were here, I'd let him do it.
They love Turkey.
I'm just stunned that they looked at these three gentlemen and were like, "Oh, like where's the soccer?
Yeah,
no soccer."
Nate, do you follow NHL other than the Caps?
Yeah, big time.
Okay, what do you have any thoughts on?
Well, I was all over the Avs, and they went up 2-0, and then lost 4 straight.
I had
to
Avs
Vegas.
to win the cup.
Yeah, the problem is they don't play defense, and that came out to bite them in the ass. It's going to be 2 very, very good series.
Yeah, you
up.
got Vegas against Montreal and the Islanders against Tampa. The Islanders feel like a team that it's just kind of like the Blues a couple of years ago, where it feels like it might be. There's always that team in the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, where they might not be as good as the Lightning, they might not be as good as other teams, but it just feels like they got the mojo.
Well, Barry Trotz, Caps' former coach, went down to Tampa on our way to the Cup, and now it's sort of the same thing. Nobody's giving the Islanders a chance against Tampa, and it just feels it feels like one of those type of years where why not the
Islanders big? How big of dogs are they in the series? Pretty big.
I don't have that in front of me.
Oh, I figured they're pretty big dogs.
Barry Trotz, either the best or worst name in sports.
I feel like he sounds like a porn star.
I think I like it too. Trotz?
Trotz is good, and Barry's is like any name that ends with a Y is kind of endearing.
Yes.
Yeah, you could put Barry with a lot of things. Trotz though just doesn't go with anything. Trotz, Scott Trotz.
I think it goes with Barry.
Steve Trotz.
Home run Trotz.
Oh, if he were a baseball player and they called him Home Run Trotz.
That's so good.
Oh, that guy should have been he should play for the fucking Mets or something.
We don't have odds for the series. We just have odds to win the cup. It is the Knights are plus 115, Lightning plus 175, Islanders plus 600, Canadians plus 900.
I think I
Montreal
love Islanders at plus 600.
Montreal's playing as good as anybody's played in the playoffs, and Carey Price, he's almost like a Tuukka Rask in Montreal, where they were turning against him, one of the best goalies of the generation. He's playing lights out, best hockey of his career.
Hasn't Montreal played 2 playoff chokers, like 2 teams that Toronto, and then the other Canadian team.
They just sweep.
The other not Winnipeg. Was it Winnipeg?
Yeah,
Winnipeg.
They just swept Winnipeg.
Yeah,
they just swept them.
All right, let's see. Not saying that Barstool needs to hire me, but I'm European and no soccer, NBA, NFL. Well, good luck, George KR77. I think we got soccer covered, but you might get in here. I look forward to the days of you stalking us and coming into the lobby. That guy disappeared though. Sopranos ended 14 years ago today.
It sure did.
Is that the greatest TV show of all time?
In my opinion, it is.
It's one of those. That's my sister, Nate.
Okay.
Well, you said is that? Oh no, you said is that Fran's sister? That's my sister. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was just introducing you to her.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Her name's John.
It's a lovely name.
She's got a weird name. yeah, Sopranos is. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I think. See, for me, it's so like. I just remember I have such a fond memory. Well, it wasn't fond at the time. My childhood, walking into the kitchen where my parents would watch TV on Sundays, and immediately pausing it and turning around and just waiting for me to leave the room.
Okay.
And then getting to a point where I was old enough to actually watch it and be like, "Oh, this is the best show ever." Also, I could see why they didn't want a 6-year-old seeing the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty fair.
I
just think the acting's incredible. I grew up literally like 30 to 40 minutes from where most of it is filmed. So a little bit of part of that gives it a little even like I've just been to so many of the places. I grew up around there. Little soft spot in my heart with that, but it's just great acting, just great, just all the stories. Just so much happens. I mean, it's long, it's well written. Like I said, the acting's incredible. It's the best show ever. It's just phenomenal.
It's my white whale. I've never watched a second of it. I have caught up on some shows that are very highly rated that I had never seen. Like I watched The Wire over quarantine, and it's really fucking good. I always thought that, I think The West Wing is way up there as far as shows as I've watched. I haven't watched a whole lot of shows, but I watch mostly comedies. The Office, Parks and Rec. I watched all those. So if it's the greatest show of all time, I'm going to check it out soon to see if. But again, it's going to be the same problem as Goodfellas. I don't really get into mob movies.
But no, this is The Sopranos. I think is even different than Goodfellas in the sense that it's like obviously it's this big mob boss, but it's like the family life, like, and it's funny, it's action packed. Like there's such a human element that goes in where he's this mob boss, but he's also a father of a young daughter, a son.
Meadow.
They have their problems. Like they have problems with the wife. Like there's such a different element to it. He goes to therapy. Like he's dealing with his own issues. Like there's so much deeper things that go into it than just being this like crazy mob boss.
My thing with Tony, watching Tony Soprano is watching him and his raging and him just with his temper go nuts. It's like, I lived through Tony going nuts with that because I can't do that, or regular people can't get away with that kind of rage or anger. So like watching him is like it's like therapeutic for me watching him because we all go through stuff in life where we feel like that and can't act on it. And so when he just goes nuts, I feel like it's like a part of me doing it.
Can't just go around yelling at people and putting your hands on people. It's just bullshit. That's not really.
You can't occasionally.
Did you ever do Breaking Bad?
So I was going to say that. I've chased these great shows that have been called so great. I watched about 7 or 8 episodes in Breaking Bad of season 1, and it didn't take. It's like it was
it's a little slow. I watched it and I really enjoyed it.
Slow.
I think the first few episodes.
It didn't take. I'm sorry, I tried.
8, I think the first 4 are pretty slow.
Oh my goodness!
It just didn't take. Now I tried. I gave it a try,
and I watched it all the way through, and I enjoyed it. I think I don't rank it as high as a lot of other people do. I think it's a very good show. For me, it's not my top 3-4 shows, but very good.
Who hasn't seen The Sopranos? Brandon's the only person. Outside of this New York bubble, I think a lot of people have not seen it.
This weekend, give me the pilot.
Pilot?
Just watch the pilot.
You know what? I'm not going to give you the weekend. I'm going to give you the night. I'll watch that motherfucker.
And the pilot's really good.
The pilot's good.
No,
I think it's very good. I think it'll get you into it.
Like The Wire was I had to dedicate myself to that. The first season flew by. The second season was a slog. I had to kind of get through it. But once I got through that,
the port thing was.
It was kind of smooth sailing.
And Sopranos, honestly, the first 3 seasons are the best.
It's
good all the way through, but the initial, especially the first 2.
I think that's true with every good TV show. The first gets you in, and seasons 2 through 4 are always the heart. They're always like The Office 2 and 3 are the best. But I would agree with some of the chat. I think the first 3 seasons of Lost are as good as any TV ever. It's just that it fell apart. Mm-hmm. It fell apart and was terrible. When it comes to best TV shows ever, best dramatic shows, I don't think 24 gets mentioned enough. I think 24. You never seen it?
Never seen it.
I think 24 is really goddamn good. And the first season was good. The second season was great. And they had their seasons were so standalone that their seasons vary wildly in goodness. But I think 24 doesn't get enough credit because it was great. And also I love The West Wing. It was fantastic.
That's your number 1, right?
It's my number 1 drama, that I've ever seen. It was incredible. All right. So we were going to do crazy stats. We'll save that till Monday. Today's also the anniversary of the flu game, the Michael Jordan flu game. I have a theory about that. Hot take.
What is it?
Couldn't happen today. Couldn't happen today. If Michael Jordan showed up with flu-like symptoms, wouldn't be able to play today, right now. Would not be able to go. He'd be held out. He'd be in COVID protocol.
You know what?
they just wouldn't report flu-like symptoms.
You think?
You know what? I think he would, because in college basketball season, there was a game for Kansas where Marcus Garrett was sick like that, and they let him play. So if he's playing, Michael Jordan is damn sure playing, especially in the playoffs.
Dear Lord BFW, stick to sports. Your shows suck, but I guess he has to find one the wife likes. People are so goddamn dumb.
What's that even
I
mean?
hate people so fucking much.
You're talking about like The Wire and like
fucking
West Wing.
the most popular shows of all time.
I'm not 24's and
Honestly,
24's great. West Wing's great. Like
honestly, I think people just got offended probably that you didn't watch the.
they're not offended. They're just whiny little bitches that want to get my attention, and they succeed because I like to include the chat. But when I include the chat, I get the idiots too. So
What's your number one comedy?
my favorite or what I think is the best?
Either one.
Because The Office and Scrubs are my two favorite. Well, I have one. My favorite show of all time has been canceled, or at least the main actor has. So yeah.
Oh, the Cosby Show?
Yes, that's my favorite show of all time.
There's
But
another one you could say. I thought you were about to say House of Cards.
I put The Office. I put The Office and
Another
Scrubs.
canceled star.
And I know Seinfeld deserves to be there too, but Seinfeld never really resonated with me. I've watched all of them and I like them, but I don't love them. I don't not like I love.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Where are we going?
It's very good.
I thought Curb.
It's very, very, very good. Yeah, I love all those shows. Love all. TV's good.
TV's
Is
awesome.
that a hot take? TV's good.
TV's fucking awesome.
Lines are up. Barstool Sportsbook all weekend
Oh,
for
I'm
college
sorry.
baseball. And hey, if you can't bet them in the sportsbook states, all the pin gaming sportsbooks around the country have them.
Can I talk now? Oh, hey, look at that. Look at the boys coming back in. All right. The
They've been
legend
gone for
himself, Jeff
months.
DeLoe, is back in.
Everyone's tan, just been boozing for 2 weeks straight.
The Yak is up next. That's picture.
Fucking